So now we're just going to talk about Google's AMP stories that they've just put into sort of beta or dev recently. So this, as you can probably guess from the name, it's pretty similar to AMP. So that's accelerated mobile pages, and what AMP is essentially Google's cache or Google's really quick loading version of normal articles on the web. So Google have been pretty aggressive with AMP, and I imagine it's going to be pretty similar with these AMP stories in that if you provide the integration to your site correctly, they will put you really high up the SERPs, so you'll get featured in this nice little box, get a nice little lightning bolt next to it, and that obviously encourages you to click through because you know it's going to be a fast loading page, and people give up on stuff if it takes ages to load. So getting that confidence of what they click on is going to load up really fast is really effective. And you've probably seen this on Facebook too, with their Internet Articles initiative. It's pretty much the same thing. You basically stay in that platform and don't leave it, and because you're doing that, the publisher, the platforms love it because you stay in there, and the users like it because you get better speed too. So what Stories is, it's basically an extension to the regular AMP articles, and obviously everyone's heard this name Stories being banded around now, so you've seen it on Snapchat, Instagram, etc. Same thing. So you've just got a full page, full bleed photo essentially, and then you've just got multiple of those like slides, almost like a slideshow. It's basically just a JavaScript framework that helps you build that. So there's some special markup that you build into your page technically. You specify like an AMP story, and then you give it your slides and stuff, and then it just helps you. It basically builds all the nav for you in terms of swiping across. It's just really rich.
Is this only accessible for like premium publishers at the minute then, is it? Or is it?
Right now it's just in testing, yeah. So there's like a few is Wired, and there's a few others where if you go to the URL, I think it's g.co/AMP stories, if you go there on your phone, you get like a mock-up, like a mock-up Google search essentially, type in Wired or one of the other approved publishers that are testing it, and you can see what these look like at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty much as I described. If you've used Instagram or Snapchat and clicked for a story, it's pretty much exactly the same.
I disagree with it being compared directly to Instagram or Facebook stories.
Why?
Because I don't think it's the same thing at all.
It's the same.
It doesn't have the capabilities, does it? It reminds me of. I'm trying to find it now. I think Medium released something called Collections. Am I right? That was a very, very similar user experience, and it kind of looks like that.
It's just full bleed photos that you swipe across.
It's not direct, but it's not comparison because people have to search for it still. Usually when you're discovering things on Instagram, say Instagram stories, you stumble upon it, don't you? You view somebody's story, whereas this is search focused. You're physically searching for a story.
So if you're searching for something to do, I think personally this is going to be targeted at publishers like TMZ or whatever, where they're breaking Kim Kardashian news or whatever. It's going to appeal to the same type of audience where you're looking at that kind of content, and you'll type it in your search query, and then you'll get your story, and that audience will relate to it, won't they? They'll be like, oh yeah, story, get a story.
There's not a social element to it, though, is there? Like
you can share it
like a story. It's more like Facebook Instant Article, or it's just a new format to AMP as well.
I think they're picking backing off the name.
I
really,
think the media.
It's not the same thing. Like say when you see somebody's story on Instagram, you've just discovered it. You're interested in viewing it because it's there right in front of you.
Yeah, I guess
you have to go out of your way and actually search for this.
I guess what you're saying there is that you don't know what you're going to look at until you click on it with Instagram or Snapchat, do you? You just see someone's profile picture. I might get a tiny little preview on some of the platforms.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're looking at. You're just looking at it because you're interested in that person. Whereas here, you're coming in knowing what you're looking for, I suppose. Yeah.
I think the media have misreported on what it actually is. That's what I'm trying to get at.
It's just another way of putting a news article across, essentially. So it's going to be great for really media-rich news articles, essentially, like I said, just slideshows. It's going to be great for those. And like I say, if the audience is used to digesting content in this format, then that's the type of people that are going to click through. Yeah. But they've got to be careful, Google, because same with AMP, if they shove it right at the top of the SERPs again, everyone's going to jump on it just so they get discovered with whatever content they're putting on. So people are going to use it incorrectly just for the discoverability factor.
What are the performance and reporting metrics that we're going to be able to look at to be able to see if something's doing well in this format? Is there anything that we can...
I haven't read anything about that.
There's no direct comparison, is there really? What do you compare it to? What does good performance look like? And what metrics do you look at to see if it's performing right?
Well, you can pull AMP into Google Analytics, can't you now? So I don't know what's going to happen with AMP story specifically, but like say you might want a how deep do they get in the story metric, might you? See if you get to the end, see if there's a big bounce rate.
And view time, pretty much.
Yeah, well, if it's broken up into 50 slides, view time of 2 minutes might only be like 3 slides, so you might want like a depth type thing.
It will be pulled into Google Analytics in exactly the same way as AMP is, and the code structure for implementing it looks like it's differentiated from the existing AMP.
Yep.
So you will be able to track it. I don't know how.
They keep making up these basically other versions of HTML, other HTML AMP tags and stuff.
Yeah.
Just more stuff for publishers to get to grips with. It's just another format, and then Google shove it top at SERPs, and everyone does it anyway. It's like you've got your bite danglers on there really for stuff like this.
Monopolising.
Yeah, they can put whatever they want out, and if it goes to the top at SERPs, then people do, whether it's good or not. So yeah, it's not. It's just another thing. It's annoying for developers, me. So yeah, it's another thing to code, isn't it? Hopefully, the big platforms, WordPress and Shopify, etc., and all the other blog platforms will put out plugins or enable it in their existing plugins that deal with AMP to spit out this stuff automatically. But I guess CMSs will have to figure out a way to sort of give content managers an easy way to sort of say, right, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3.
It'll get more widely adopted when it comes into public.
Yeah. It looks fairly polished.
There's much longevity in these kind of things because it seem to just appear. I know AMP's been around for some time now, but like things with the obviously the stories, it's a little bit more niche in it, really. Yeah, I think it's only going to attract a certain type of person, but it'd be interesting to see how long it sticks around for before Google go and yeah.
I think they'll be quite selective about what verticals they push these results in, like Jay was saying with wired
recipes and stuff where you've got a process to follow. Be pretty good context for it.
Yeah, there'll be verticals that work with like publishers, tech, food, where they'll show it like they do with AMP.
Anything that's got a step-by-step process would be great, like a recipe, because you want big pictures, don't you? You want step 1, 2, 3, 4, that'd be pretty good. But yeah, tech articles, I don't know, why would you want a slideshow for that?
It's just a bit more engaging, isn't it? If you've got a reporter going to CES, for example.
Yeah, CES is a bit different because you might be showcasing a photo of a new product, something like that. But yeah, if you've got an article about Google Assistant or whatever, you don't want to read that in a story, do you?
Do you want to read anything in a story?
Well, no. Kids do. It's how kids digest stuff nowadays.